Codex gets both the screen and the app context. With this, Codex can use the simulator itself. Check this out. This is not my cursor, it's Codex clicking around and doing all of this in the background while I can continue to use my computer. Isn't that amazing?
That cursor is not being moved by a human. That is Codex, OpenAI's coding agent, operating the computer by itself, in the background, while the developer keeps working on top of it. Yesterday, OpenAI packed the biggest Codex drop they have ever shipped into one 7-minute video. OpenAI says more than 6 million developers use this thing every week. And by their own count, they have shipped more than 150 updates in a couple of months. So we are not going to read you the patch notes. This is mission control. 9 systems are sitting dark on that board. One by one, we run the launch poll. Every system gets a verdict. Go or hold. And every station hands you the exact command to fire it yourself today. Stay to the end, because one system that is not even released yet makes a cameo. Flight director has the floor. Begin the poll. System 1, the merge. Codex used to be a separate app. As of this update, Codex and ChatGPT are becoming one. Codex now lives inside ChatGPT, with its own dedicated space, right next to the new work agent. Same agent, one window. If you have ChatGPT, you are now one click away from a full coding agent. And why should you care? Because every conversation you already have in ChatGPT just moved in next door to your code base. Hold that thought, because at station 7 you will see exactly what that unlocks. The merge is a go. System 2, engines. GPT-5.6 Sol is the new frontier model. And this is not a waitlist preview. It went to general availability on July 9th across ChatGPT, Codex, and the API. One honest footnote, the video skips. The free tier only gets the smaller sibling called Terra, and the full Sol model unlocks on paid plans. OpenAI built Sol to stay locked onto one hard problem for a very long time without drifting. And that is the single most important trait for an agent that works while you are not watching. Engines are a go. But hold your applause, because Sol alone is not the headline.
6. Combined with the goal command, you can give it the most challenging projects you've been putting off, like this one. With Ultra, Sol gets a much larger reasoning budget, but be careful. Ultra will obviously be using your token limits faster. Now, as you can see here, Codex will automatically split the work across sub-agents without you needing to ask. So I can follow any of them individually, or open this panel and see the whole team working together. One goal and all of this work now moving in parallel. That's really awesome.
System 3, the Afterburner. Ultra mode gives Sol a much larger reasoning budget. And as you just saw, it splits the work across a team of sub-agents automatically. You do not orchestrate anything. You hand it one goal with the /goal command. Codex spawns the workers, runs them in parallel, and shows you the whole crew on one panel. Now the honest part, because OpenAI said it out loud, and most recap videos will skip right past it. Ultra burns through your usage limits faster. Their words, not mine. And on the Codex GitHub, users report heavy Ultra runs, eating a 5-hour allowance in minutes. You flip it on in settings, under the model picker. So the verdict is amber. Go, with caution. Save the Afterburner for the project you have been putting off for months. Do not light it to rename variables.
The feature I'm the most excited for you to experience. It's so much faster with GPT 5.6. Say I'm working on this iPhone app, for instance. I can simply take an app shot of the simulator by pressing Command on Mac, just like that, and say, navigate through every screen and capture the App Store screenshots in English and French. You can think of an app shot as a smarter screenshot.
System 4, guidance. This is the station OpenAI themselves, called the feature. They are most excited for you to experience. And honestly, same. An app shot is a screenshot with a brain. On a Mac, you press both command keys, and Codex captures the window, plus the live text and context of the app behind it. It knows what the buttons actually do, not just what they look like. Mac only for now, by the way. and then it flies the ship. That is what the cold open was. Codex driving the iPhone simulator with its own cursor, tapping through every screen, capturing App Store screenshots in 2 languages, all in the background, while the developer kept using the machine. Guidance is a go, and it is the clearest picture yet of where every coding tool is heading next.
This very simple paper-plane game built with GPT 5.6. I can open it directly in the in-app browser, play with it, and see exactly what Codex created. If I want to change something, I can point and click here to annotate the exact part I'm talking about. Codex gets that visual context to make the changes that I request. We added a lot of features to the browser, by the way, so you can now work with applications that require login as well, with support for passkeys. And boom, here is the change. I can also switch into the diff view. I've always been able to inspect
System 5. Manual control. Because sometimes you do not want the machine flying. You just watched it. Open the thing Codex built in the in-app browser. Play with it, and when something bothers you, point and click on the exact element and leave a note. Codex takes that visual context and makes the change. And OpenAI says the browser now handles logins with passkey support, so apps behind real authentication are fair game too. And on the code side, the diff view is now editable. If you know the exact line you want, type it straight into the diff. If you know the behavior but not the code, describe it and hand it back. OpenAI's presenter called it pairing with the model. For once, the marketing line is accurate. Manual control is a go. System 6. Orbit. Building an app was never the hard part for an AI. Putting it on the internet was. Sites kills that problem with one sentence. Publish this to sites. Hosting, authentication, a persistent database, and file storage, all built in. Now, the video says this is available to everyone, and that needs one asterisk. It was enterprise only last month. The public rollout starts with the pro and education plans, with plus close behind. And public publishing has not reached Europe and the UK yet.
Share them internally. Now, Sites is available to everyone, and it works for any web application that you build with Codex. I can simply say, publish this to Sites. It has hosting, authentication, a persistent database, and even file storage all built in. So I can go from an idea to a real full-stack application without really thinking about infrastructure or hosting. And there it is now deployed.
Directly in the chat window to begin, I'll start by describing what I want. Build a launch site for a design conference with speaker cards, a filterable agenda, and a clean, minimalist editorial style. Behind the scenes, it sets up the project, writes the code, and keeps working until the first version is ready. I can open up the result and try it for myself. This is a strong start. Using Build web apps, build a colorful early 2000s 2D side-scrolling game with a cartoon hero and animated environments. Use vibrant pixel art, responsive controls, and playful effects. There you have it, from an idea to a working web app, all inside ChatGPT.
That second demo is from OpenAI's companion video. And slow down and look at what actually happened there. One paragraph of plain English became a deployed conference site with speaker cards and a filterable agenda. One more paragraph became a playable side-scrolling game. Idea to live URL, and nobody touched a server. Orbit is a go with that one asterisk. Hold the poll. One console on this floor is still dark. CAPCOM, the voice on the loop. That seat is yours. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free, and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. CAPCOM is green. Resume the poll.
Check out this one. Find 5 bugs from linear, create a separate task and isolated work tree for each one, and pin the most critical ones. And boom, from this coordinating thread, I can see now everything being kicked off and moving along. So Codex is not only doing the work, it's helping me keep all of it organized and connected. The cool thing is these tasks can also reference one another. Better yet, the work does not have to start in Codex. If an idea starts in ChatGPT, or if I explore it here with deep research, I can now mention
System 7. Fleet Operations. This is the sleeper feature of the whole drop. Codex can now manage its own tasks. Look at what that one prompt just did. Find 5 bugs from linear. Create a separate task and an isolated work tree for each one. Pin the most critical ones. One coordinating thread kicked off 5 work streams, and it keeps all of them organized and connected. And here is the payoff from Station 1. Work no longer has to start inside Codex. Explore an idea in a ChatGPT conversation, or run a deep research session, then mention that conversation from Codex. And the entire context comes with it. No more copy-pasting your own thoughts between apps. Your thinking and your building finally share one memory. Fleet Ops Go. System 8. Uplink. The phone stopped being a spectator this update. 3 things to try. Create, search, and manage Codex tasks from any conversation on your phone. Review changes on the go, staged, unstaged, or branch against branch. And the big one. Connect your phone straight to an SSH box, like your dev machine, and start new tasks from the train. Start it at your desk. Steer it from your pocket. Uplink is a go.
smoother. Codex now makes it easier to work with pull requests without leaving the app. It does this in context. It knows which branch each task is working on. So when that branch has an open PR, the summary pane surfaces it automatically. I can follow everything, address any issues, and merge once everything looks good. If a check fails though, or a command comes in, I can ask Codex to fix it right here with the full context. The new pull requests tab.
System 9. Docking. Every piece of shipped code ends its journey in a pull request. And Codex now flies that final approach without leaving the app. It knows which branch each task is on, so it surfaces the open PR automatically. A check fails, say fix it, and Codex already has the context. There is a full pull requests tab now. Inline comments, complete reviews, mark ready, and merge. You never open github.com. Docking is a go. Which leaves the cameo. At the very end, OpenAI's presenter does something quietly wild. He turns to Codex and asks it to wrap up the show.
Online or in person at one of nearly 30 events around the world. Okay, Codex, I'm done with the demo. Can you get developers ready for Build Week and wrap us up? As always, keep giving us your hardest bugs, your boldest ideas, and the work that feels slightly impossible. Thank you.
Description says something that is not out yet makes an appearance right there. Watch that space. Now, the board. 9 systems polled, 8 green, 1 amber. And the timing is not an accident. OpenAI Build Week is running right now, July 13th through the 21st. Live sessions, more than 40 events around the world, and a challenge with $100,000 in total prizes, plus Dev Day passes for the winners. The submission deadline is July 21st, 5 p.m. Pacific. So screenshot this board, pick one green system, and ship something this week. If you want this launch poll on paper, I already wrote it down for you, the flight plan. All 9 systems, the exact commands from every station, the plan gating, and the honest cautions. In one checklist, you can keep next to your keyboard. Comment the word flight, and my agent will send it to you or grab it directly from the link below. It is completely free. And if you are just getting started with AI coding agents, my premium beginner guide to Codex walks you through everything, from install to your first shipped app. It is linked below next to my other beginner guides. Follow Hyperautomation Labs on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The next launch window is already on the schedule. See you at the console.